It didn't seem like he took Corey. There we go. So if guys didn't take pride in their job, when they went to, we don't want that crew coming here, send these other guys because they do what we ask. It's done right. It looks neat, looks professional. You take pride in your work. And at the same time, you know, especially on commercial jobs where you got a bunch of lifts moving around and you got all these other things moving around. If your stack isn't straight, they could slam into the side of the stack and, you know, break corners and everything else if it's all over the place. And then it usually comes back on the drywallers, not the guy driving the lift. But if everything was neat and square and he hits it, it's like, man, it was in this one little spot. You had room to get around.
Yeah.
So
I guess it gives you a little more lean on messing up on other stuff.
yeah, that's true. It's like, you know, what you do on with your material and everything else, and it's like you take pride in all of that, and then all of a sudden somebody tries to blame something else on you, and you can honestly say, no, that wasn't us. And even if no, it wasn't you, if you're doing sloppy work, they're just going to think, oh, you didn't care about this, you didn't care about that either, so that probably was you. So I just think it has a snowball effect. If you're not taking pride in your work and doing what you need to do to be professional and make everything look nice, then it just snowballs into other things.
Yeah.
So what about you? How do you feel about it?
Let me go ahead and share this on the group, and then I'll get started with the sorry, Randy. Boom truck for kids. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm gonna shut that down. Hold on a second there, Randy.
Oh, good.
I'm trying to share this on the group because I have it on the page right now. I think it'll just be easier to do it from my phone.
Thanks. 20 degrees outside, you saw a motorcycle. Thanks. 20 degrees outside, you saw a motorcycle.
All right, and okay, so we're live now, Randy. Let me pull up Boom Truck Madness here just so I can have it on the background.
Right.
And we have some people watching too, so that's pretty awesome.
Cool.
There we are. Okay. All right, man. So tonight's topic, do straight stacks matter? And Randy just gave me his point of view, and I'm gonna make you share it again, Randy, so that the folks in the group are watching. But if any of you guys want to jump in, the link is still up in the group. Just hit the link and you can join in, chime in with us, with me and Randy. And also you can go ahead and comment. I'm gonna try to read the comments too in the group now. And so straight stacks matter. Last week, Mike brought it up, which was pretty awesome. We were scrolling through the group and we saw a picture of a straight stack, and Mike brought that up, how important that is. So I was like, hey, you know, maybe everybody doesn't know, because I didn't, and that's how, when I started stocking, the guy that taught me how to stock, he really never told me like make straight stacks or nothing like that. He was just basically booming from the seat and taught me how to drop and all that stuff, but never cared too much about telling me make straight stacks or anything. So I did that probably about a couple months, just dropping board. We didn't care about it looking nice because we were footage, we were production. So making it nice was the least of our concerns. And then I didn't know anything about drywall. I had never touched it. I never knew anything about it. So to me, it was just like our job is just to get in the building. And one day, we're stocking apartments right next to our competitors, where they had some apartments across the street. And I walked by there by the first floor, and I saw how their stacks looked, caught my attention. I went inside and just saw how beautiful their stacks looked. I was like, damn, like that looks real damn good. And ours looked like shit. So I started wondering, man, like, why the hell does anybody even buy rock from us, man? If no, let's say it's probably about the same price or whatever. Why would anybody want to go with us versus doing work that looks like that? So that's where I started changing it up. Started taking, and then the guy that was with me was also explaining, oh yeah, that's how they do it. That's how they do it at the other places. So I was like, hell, why don't we do it? And we started doing it from there, and been doing it for years now. And anytime I make sure that I stock that board, it's got to look right for a lot of reasons. Number one, I think it's like a presentation of you, number one, and then the company, and it just makes it professional. It's like you're happy to put that drywall in there, and then the customer walks in, looks at that, and it's also happy. And I don't want to say probably willing to pay more, but if for X reason he would go with a competitor, let's say you couldn't stock a job for them, and they do a shitty job, then they're gonna be like, oh man, like we really need to keep our guys. Or vice versa, if you always do a shitty job, and then you go to a competitor and they do a good job, they're probably likely to take your business. So that's another reason. And then another reason too, I think, is money. I think you get paid more if you stock better. Why? Because you can I always use that as leverage. Your boss, he might not go to every job site, but it'd be damn awesome if he walks in there and just by the way the board looks, he knows who stocked that house or who stocked that apartment or whatever. And that in their mind, they think like, you know, I got to do whatever I can to keep this guy here because he's doing a good ass job. Versus the ones that don't, they don't think twice about letting them go. So that can always be used as leverage to getting paid better. And Randy, what do you think, man? So what's your feeling about straight stacks?
I agree with you on all those points. You know, it's a reflection of yourself, and it's a reflection of your company, for sure. And you know, with every point you talk about, there's been many a times throughout my career that me and my partner were the only ones allowed to go to certain jobs because they didn't want other guys on those jobs.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could have a customer that's doing like 4 or 5 houses a day with your company, and they only want one crew to go to it. You got 5 houses that day because they don't want to risk sending somebody else and, you know, getting a bad result.
Do you think that even gives you advantage over choosing like let's say you got houses versus shitty apartments? You could be like, well, you know, let me stock these houses and send the other crew to do the shitty apartments.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely that could play into it. You know, depending on which company I was with over the years, I was either the top guy or the top guy. So I got to, you know, pick and choose a lot of the things that I got to go do to a certain extent. And then customers, you know, kind of dictated some of that as well. But yeah, it definitely does affect, you know, your pay. I mean, depending on which type of yard you're with, if you're on footage, if you're on hours, if you're under a union contract, things are different. But when it comes around and you're doing a great job, everything looks really nice, you're getting a lot of compliments, come race time, that gets taken into account, which also gives you leverage with your company as well. If you're in that kind of position that, what you do matters, it matters to your customers, and, I'm worth more than the other guy because I'm doing these things. You would hope that your whole company would take pride in their work and the product that they put out there, but as we know, not everybody does. So yeah, it definitely does matter. Safety on job sites with straighter stacks is always a big concern. Whether it's commercial or if it's residential, whether you're standing them up on the wall or you're laying them on the floor, there's always reasons to keep them all straight and make them look nice and do the job that you're asked to do to the best of your ability.
Yeah. So how long have you been stocking board?
Pretty close to 28 years now.
And you always done it that way since day one, or did you kind of learn?
Pretty much from day one. Now, I started in Colorado Springs at a newly opened yard to the largest drywall company in Colorado at the time. So we were all pretty much new at what we were doing. And the customers out there seemed really, really picky all the time. There was a couple companies where the guys would take the time to say, like, hey, I need you to stock it here on the floor and I need it straight because I need to get a lift by. And if you don't have it all straight, I'm going to catch like a bundle or two and then it's going to be messed up. And, those kind of things. And then our managers went out and stocked with us and showed us, hey, you keep it straight on the wall because, somebody could walk around the corner and catch one bundle sticking out and all of a sudden everything's falling on the floor. So that was pretty much from the beginning. That's what we learned to do. And then when I moved from there and came out to the Midwest, came across a lot of people that just didn't seem to care so much about the straightness of stacks and how it perceived yourself, or the company, and started changing people's ideas about that and why it matters to do it better than the next guy. I don't know how many times taking customers away from other companies because you stock it neater, you stock it faster, and you do the job better. The customer doesn't have as many worries.
Yeah. And like you also said, or mentioned earlier, that when you do a good job, I think it plays a lot too, like when you do a good job and then something happens, sometimes we break a board, break 2-3 pieces or whatever. And I really do think it makes a difference in the customer's insight, where he walks in the house or the building and he sees this drywall, looking beautiful, and there's 2 or 3 broken pieces, like, well, shit, like obviously these guys care about their job. Something probably happened and they know shit happens. Versus if they walk in there and the stacks look like crap, it's already like, oh man, like this looks horrible. And then you have a couple broken pieces. It's just like the cherry on top, like, oh man, like I don't want this. I don't like this.
Exactly. And it's not even necessarily say the board is broken. It could be the door's dented or something happened outside, concrete's broken, but your truck wasn't set up anywhere near there. All those different kind of things. It's a snowball effect. If your job doesn't look good and look neat, all of a sudden it's going to be like, oh, they didn't care about this, so they must have done this too, or they did this over here. It's like, that's the back of the house. We were never over there. Oh, I don't care. You must have done it because everything looks like crap in here.
Yeah.
it's a snowball effect for sure. Because us as drywall guys, we always get blamed for everything on a job site, and even if it's the concrete guy ran over the B box in the front yard, and we were set up on the other side of the house, it's like, oh, that must have been you guys. It's like, no, we take pride in our work. Look at what the job site looks like, and they're less likely to keep coming back at you for those things.
Mhm.
Or broken windows, or trim, or door jams, or gutters, or any of that kind of stuff. It's not
Yeah,
always us.
yeah. That's how the stack should look right there, Randy. Like the can you see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they should look right there. Look. My man dropped the Dunish on the floor though. Isn't that a dumpster right there? Look.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it.
Oh man, Randy, I'm pissed now. Look, it is. Well, no, it's a small dumpster.
Yeah. Sometimes if the guy's talking too much upstairs and you don't like or happen to listen to him, you just dump a bunch of pieces on the ground just to give him extra work to do.
Yeah, I try not to. Sometimes you have to just because of the board you need or whatever, but yeah. Randy, so where you at, man? What city do you work at?
I work in a different city than I live in. So I work out of Champaign, Illinois.
You're out of Illinois.
Yeah, I used to work out of Chicagoland for a long time.
Oh man, that's a bro. Look at that. There it is.
Yeah, that's the one.
Man, I also think it's just based on the because so I wish somebody would jump in that would say that straight stacks don't matter because I think a lot of the times I've heard them say like it's faster, and I don't think it is, Randy. I think it takes probably, man, it might be a little bit slower to straighten that up, but I don't think it'll make a difference at the end of the delivery.
No, it doesn't. And if both guys are moving in the same rhythm, it just slides right into place. As long as you have your hands, your hip, or whatever in the right spot, it's all done in the same motion. So, especially flat stacking. I mean, you put your hands on the corners and it slides into place, and you both bump it either north or south, and it's in place. There's not much to it. I mean, you start stacking up a little higher, and then when you bump the edge of the stack, you start to knock one over a little bit, but then you just push it right back. I mean, it doesn't take any more time. Just as being top producer at the yard, and my stuff was always straight, and they're like, oh, it takes longer to do that. And I'm like, then how am I getting more done in less time than you, and my stacks are straight?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's just a choice you make when you're dropping it. And then look, they left this up here, the Dunish, and then look what they used down. It looks like they grabbed board off the ground or something to build it up.
Yeah, so it wasn't on the ground. But
It looks like Mike is trying to jump in. Mike,
about to get interesting.
I'm trying.
I think Mike stocked this.
No, hell no. I'll fight myself.
You didn't stock that, Mike?
Board. That's West Coast.
No, that's no.
So Brad, and I'm gonna slaughter his last name. Brad Morris says when you do a good job and the customer knows you care about your quality, they are more willing to listen if you need something. So that's also true to facilitate. I have had customers request my truck because they know I take my pride in my chingle loading. So I guess Brad does chingles, but that's also true. you can also use that as leverage. Like when they know you do a good, I guess like when the customer knows you or the GC at a job site knows you and they know you do a good job and you care about your work, they'll cooperate more with you when you tell them like, hey, look, this is the only spot this is where I have to go through, and they'll make things happen for you. Versus if they hate you because they don't want you in the damn job site, right?
No, that's true.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
I've
you're a
seen guys
messy
get pissed off
stalker,
like that.
you know, stuff gets broken, you may automatically get blamed for it because you don't give a damn. Look at your work. But if you got nice straight stacks, it's the only nice thing in this whole entire track built house. Well, maybe it wasn't the drywall guys this time.
Yeah.
You know, you get a little bit of leverage that way.
Mm-hmm. Mike has a reputation that follows him in Ohio, right, Mike?
So far, so good.
That's
You do a
what's up,
good
man.
job, you keep working. You don't do a good job, well, I'll take your work from you.
Brandon says he got fired, and I read in another post that it's because he was smoking weed and ran a stop sign or something on the truck, and the camera saw him. But then he's here mad that they fired him. Which I don't know if he was smoking weed or ran a stop sign, but he's the one that said he did. So
In 1995, that'd be fine. Nobody would give a damn, but it's 2022. They care now.
yeah, they're watching too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got at first, so they put cameras on our trucks maybe 2 years ago. And when they first put those cameras, I was pissed. I was like, these guys don't trust me, all this other bull crap. And they're real picky about the phone, like the phone situation. And it turns out that now after 2 years, I kind of love it now because it honestly did make me a better driver because I don't get near my phone now when I'm driving. It's like a habit now. And when I see other people on the phone, I immediately know like, man, like they're not professional because they're on their damn phone. And you can tell the huge difference in your attention span when you're on the phone versus when you're actually just focusing on the road. So I kind of like the cameras now. They don't bug me no more.
If somebody was watching me, they'd have a lot of questions. A lot of, what the hell are you doing? Just my process. Go away.
Yeah.
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 Man.
I did get in trouble the first 2 months maybe. I got in trouble like 7 times. And most of that was my partner's seatbelt situation because honestly, we didn't really used to wear the seatbelts. And then, so they said like everybody in the truck has to wear the seatbelt. So I would wear my seatbelt and then babysit my partner, like put on your seatbelt, put on your seatbelt. And that time I was changing a lot of partners. So every time I had a new one, I was like, all right, put on your seatbelt. And then I would forget, you know, it's raining or whatever, you get in the truck, you just want to get out of there. And the camera snapped it. Next morning, they showed me the picture. So like the first 2 months, I went in that office like 7 times because of violations. And the last time, because I also wasn't taking it serious. But then the last time I saw the email, my boss showed me, he's like, they recommend suspension. So he's like, you know, these are some people in Chicago, like they don't know you. They just know that you're not following the rules and they want to suspend you. So that's when I realized like, okay, all right. So I guess they are serious.
Yeah.
My brother is super, super on the seatbelt thing. Like, he just got really bad luck that way. Anytime he'd forget to put on his seatbelt, that was the time he could stop.
Yeah.
Seriously. My boy was unloaded, headed back to the shop, got pulled over because they were like, well, we were just going to do a random thing. And I got a new guy with me, show him how a normal traffic stop is. And there you were, no seatbelt. He's like, dude, I always wear my seatbelt.
Yeah.
Got his ass. It was a while back, but yeah, we religiously wear the seatbelts now. He'll yell at me.
Yeah, it's just times change, man. You know, you have to, even though you don't like it, it's not like it was 10, 15 years ago.
No,
Mhm.
no, I don't mind doing the right stuff. Yeah, it ain't that hard to do. You should be doing it anyways. I just don't know about that camera thing, man. I don't know about the camera thing.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. I don't know the reason they do the camera things, but
It all comes down to insurance reasons.
yeah,
probably. So
I was going down the road singing to myself and shit. So
a member
Ooh.
just sent me that. It's a straight stacks.
All right.
Yeah. That's like boom porn.
Yeah, it is. I know every once in a while the old lady will look over my shoulder. What are you looking at? Boom trucks, mud trucks. What is wrong with you? Normal people are looking at Pornhub. You're looking at boom trucks. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I used to go on to all the different websites for IMT and Palfinger and Fosse and Cormac and all that, and just see what the newest stuff was coming out all the time. We telling guys about it. He goes, "Is that all your life is? Is it just drywall?" I'm like, "No, but
No,
I like drywall booms."
You a liar. You a liar. You
Yep.
know it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at us. We're here on a Monday night talking about boom trucks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we need rehab. That's what we need. This was like the trap house. Everybody goes here to get their fix.
Exactly.
It's just not your average job, man. This it's fun. It's like a love-hate relationship, you know. You love it, you hate it, but you can't get away from it.
Yeah, one of the guys I work with, I go to show him something on my phone. He goes, "If that's another drywall boom, I don't want to see it." I'm like, "We're at work. We're talking about work stuff."
We do it.
But yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm
So
watching you. Go ahead.
Mike or Randy, tell me this, man. Is Cody real, man, or is he like some made-up character? I've been on there for like 2 weeks now.
I think he's a personality of somebody who wanted to do something different. So he gets on there to annoy members, and it works every single time. He'll just put up a random video of him like tossing mud boxes or say some comment just to tick guys off, and it works every single time. And every single time he makes a post, it's like, okay, I got to watch this one for the next 24 hours because people are going to start cursing at each other and everything else. And it's like, yeah, delete that, delete that. Okay, delete that. Oh, that was funny. We'll keep that one. And then, it's just one of those things. I think he's a guy that actually does the job, but decides to troll the rest of us.
I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
I hope he's real, but I agree with Randy. I really wish he was real. I wish that was him.
So see, when I first saw him, I kind of thought like, okay, he's not real, but I went back and I looked at his profile, and this dude goes back. Like, he's not just doing it on the matter like that. His Facebook has been like that for years. So I thought like, okay, like he is a real person, and I just left it like that. But it just keeps he kept putting on some more crazy stuff, and I was like, he cannot be real.
No, if it's all an act, he's been at it a long time, and my boy deserves an award. If it's real, I feel for his bosses, his friends, his neighbors.
I feel for
phone. I hope he never gets a new phone because then he'd have to go back through and do all the bad spelling words all over again without his phone correcting them. Uh, but yeah, he took some time to do all that, and he knows exactly what things to say to really irritate members and to get a rise out of them, and they fall for it all the time.
I know.
Like he had that video of him booming, which was awful. And then I think in that same day he puts a picture of the board on the floor when he dropped it.
I mean,
And then
take
also
advantage of it.
that
You're
mud.
having a bad day, roll with it. Get over here.
I'm trying to find that video, but I can't find it.
Oh yeah, the one where he's almost lost the lift and then he tries to catch it and
Yeah.
there's some broken board in there and stuff.
And then where he's just tossing that mud in the garage, that was funny as hell.
Yeah, just
Beating
flipping
the
it
hell
backwards.
out of it. Just whipping it in like it ain't nothing.
Yeah, I mean it was Mirko mud. I mean it's not heavy stuff, but come on.
Yeah, I can't find any of this stuff.
Mm.
Yeah,
Trying to
if
keep
he
my
really
music
wanted to
on.
put out a video that would show that he's real, he'd show his face, and he doesn't, even in the toss and mud video. So, yeah, it's an act.
I hope it's not, but I think it is. I hope somewhere out there, every morning that dude walks in and his manager just goes, all right, here we go again. He showed up.
I mean, I had a guy in Colorado. It was about my third year in, and this guy was just not right. I mean, he was probably about 19, 20 years old, ready to go into the Marines. Used to carry an 8-inch knife on his side. Oh, there it is. And that was back before we were using cards, so we were hand carrying everything. And we would show him how to carry it, how to get into the center of the board, pulling it off the boom, go to the wall, be able to set it up against stack, slide it down so you set it down nice. He would grab the front of the board and just take off running, and it would fall off the back of the boom, and he would flip backwards. Or he'd get about 3 feet from the wall, and he looked like he was chucking a baseball from the warning track to home plate, and he would just whip the board and throw it up against the wall. It's like, dude, you can't do that. But yeah, I guess there are some guys out there like that, but I don't know.
Well, Cody's definitely one of them. See, there's a video.
We need Cody on here. We need his side of the story.
Look, you see, like you can't be bullshitting when you do that right there. Like, come on.
Oh, I've had a stack or two like that when I'm booming. Try to take it over with a little bit too much lean, and then it's like, oops.
But like
Go back, fix it.
even where he fixed, look at that shit. He could have fixed it on the side of the bed, and he goes for the
crunch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, that's my guess is he's filming somebody else.
Very rarely, very, very rarely, I've had to pick up board off of jobs, and they told me, do whatever the hell you want with it. Throw it away, scrap it. Maybe this is one of those situations, but I don't think it is.
No.
No.
He picked that up off his bed. You can tell.
And he just beat it.
And look, the straps are all unrolled. Done is all on the damn floor.
Yeah.
And now he's trying to fix it on the side of the bed.
Oh, he just killing it. I want to go work for this yard I got it. I got to.
I think he's out in Kansas City somewhere. I think I saw on either his profile or one of his posts or something.
Yeah. He's got a bunch of Chief stuff on all the time.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh man.
My dude.
That
My
straight
dude.
back mattered.
Here's that mud video.
Yeah.
So straight stacks matter, but forget the mud, right?
Apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, it's off the truck, but
Doink, doink.
black.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Where's the ginger who's always talking smack? He's talking about what's his name? Jimmy.
Oh,
The king of all dunnage.
Jimmy's been quiet lately.
I don't know. He must
Yeah.
be on parole or something.
Yeah, he's probably out getting it. Oh man. That's gonna need some board.
Dude. I don't know about that boy. He needs to get on here and explain himself. Get into character, get on here and just piss off everybody that believes, like, let him go for it. He deserves a run at it.
Yeah.
That'd probably be the most viewed video on Madness.
Ever.
Yeah.
Your chance to beat up on Cody. And if my dude is real, whatever the hell is wrong with Kansas City, I feel for you folks. If it's something in the air or the water and that's the result, I feel for you. I do.
Probably do a Google search of his profile picture and find it on some advertisement somewhere that he found it on.
Or wanted, escape mental patient.
That's always a good possibility too.
What about this video? Did y'all see this? This is crazy too.
Yeah, the wind whipping through there.
Yeah.
In Miami, I think is what it was, wasn't it?
Look at that. The ghost. Look
That
at that.
just looks wet, icy, miserable. Nothing about it looks appealing.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, especially booming steel and that. Not fun.
No, I hate boom and steel in those conditions.
That's usually how it turns out with metal, man.
Yeah. Metal covered in oil, pouring down rain or sleet or snow up here. And then you got somebody going, how long are you going to be? As long as it takes. Get away from me.
And cold fingers.
Yep.
There's an old school.
Yeah, that was Bob, his first truck. I was like, that's crazy.
The
I
first
want
I came
it.
into it a little after that. It's like my first truck was 89 L9000 with a 6-stick IMT on it with the C bucket forks.
Yeah, I remember those forks.
They have 48-inch forks, give 54s, and they're always sitting at an angle.
My first was an 84 with the IMT and those forks.
These forks.
Oh yeah. They wouldn't even, you couldn't even rotate them 360. They'd only go like 359 and get stopped. And then you'd have to turn it back the other way. You couldn't just continuously keep going with it.
Oh, yeah. But
Yeah,
they said that these old booms would this would swing 360, wouldn't it?
yeah, that's apprentice. They always did a 360 rotation. So the older IMT that I had, it had a C-shaped lock
Yep.
on the rotator, and it had a big pin, kind of like a king pin for a trailer. It would come around and it would catch it and would stop. But if you needed to go just a little bit further, you'd rotate away from it. You'd have your partner hold it open so you could keep going just a little farther, but you got to go back the other way, because if you start twisting those hoses up inside of the main turret there, you'd start blowing stuff for sure.
Yeah. I seen that happen. My boy didn't go back the way he came, was in a rush. It didn't go well for him.
No, there's nothing like sitting on a top seat and taking a geyser of hot hydraulic fluid up your
No.
pant legs.
No. But those booms were strong, man. You could pick up anything.
Yeah,
I'd pick up 3 lifts of 5/8-12s with it. It didn't care.
Damn.
yeah. I mean, when I would see the guys up in Denver stock and board, that their trucks didn't have any pre-pick lifts. It was just solid stacks. And they carried 16-foot walkboards with them, and they'd stick it out the front door on homemade sawhorses, and they'd pick up one side of the truck and they'd flip and roll onto the cart and go in until they could close it up and then go upstairs and then do the same thing and then go upstairs or finish off and swing over to the garage. I mean, they would knock out houses in no time flat doing it that way, because you're only booming twice compared to booming 6 times. And
Yeah.
quick and
And
effective way of doing it.
Those 30-foot booms weighed as much as the new 60-foot booms.
Exactly.
They were big and heavy, monstrous crane machines. They weren't just a drywall boom.
Nope.
Oh,
This is true.
stupid.
Yeah, I saw that on the internet like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're trying to pull the car out of the lock. And I think it's over in Ireland is where that happened. And the first truck goes in and they bring the next one, the next one, and the next one. They keep falling in.
Yeah, I mean, look where they put the damn outrigger.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of funny. The first time I ever saw it, the tagline was, "If you think you're having a bad day."
That joker went down.
Yeah, then they bring out the next one.
And
And it's
that
all
one's
angled. Yeah, it's all angled toward the lock. And it's all icy gunk up on the,
doink.
and it just gets
Do you?
pulled in every time. I think the last truck there, I believe at the time, that was one of the strongest Palfinger booms they made, if that's the Palfinger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at the time. And it gets like 2 of them out, and then it gets pulled in trying to pull out the biggest one or whatever that's in the water. But yeah, I would not want to try to explain that one to my boss.
Or the insurance company. Well,
Yeah.
we got a good one for you.
You know,
You
the
won't
3
believe
trucks we
this.
have.
Just having a case of the Mondays.
Yeah.
But I don't care what anybody says. Straight stacks. That's the way I was taught. That's the way you should do it. I do understand some of the footage guys who are on the clock trying to get through and get through and get through. I get it, especially if your customer really is just a cheap ass and doesn't care. But for the most part, what's it take you? Another 2 minutes on a job site? 3 minutes most? Just make sure your stuff's straight.
Exactly. When I was on straight footage, everything was straight all the time.
Yeah. Always was for us too.
Yeah, I don't think it even takes, because I've seen that most of the time, like, the guys just sit and wait for the operator to bring more boards. So it's just like, instead of waiting, like, take a little more time, straighten that shit up.
Yeah. I don't get it. Some of them boys, they don't know no better. They get somebody that doesn't care, taught them, so that's what they know. And it's not their fault.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what, like the madness and stuff is for.
Get them right.
I hate him. You know it. I hate you. I hate you, truck.
Is that Daniel?
I hate your ugly truck.
Terrible. Get that damn ugly thing out of here. Nobody wants to see that.
Look at it. Boo.
Ah, that's jealousy right there in the motion.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Yeah. And then he's got the little baby truck too, like this.
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't seen in a long time is the short trucks with the booms on them. I've seen them in Colorado to be able to get up into the mountains in the small areas. They had like a 3-story boom on them, but they were always done on a really short axle truck.
Yeah.
And then I saw them a couple times in the big cities trying to get down the alleyways and stuff to be able to get behind the houses to stock things. But yeah, I'm surprised you don't see more of those.
Somebody around here, they used to, or they still do. I haven't seen it in a minute, but they had a little single axle boom. And, mostly delivered tile insulation, like you said, the tight job, stuff like that. It makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times.
There was a concrete company in the Springs that had one called Mini Mix. It was like half the size of a normal cement mixer, and that was the reason to get behind houses to pour stoops and deck footings and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I mean, think about our trucks keep getting bigger and heavier and less maneuverable around a job site. The more we put on them, the bigger they make the boom.
yep.
That's a nice stat.
That's a 10 right there.
Yep. That's beautiful.
Yeah, these guys took their time to do that right. Oh, got a little dust right there. Pull that off.
9.5. You lose half a point.
Yeah. Uneven done is another point.
Yeah, that's tripping hazard right there.
Picky. Yeah, that thing's a beautiful. See, that's the guys you want to keep right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They get the job done and they make it look right.
Yeah, that post with that yellow truck that had the rear mount boom on it. I think it was that guy's first post. And I looked at that and I'm like, yeah, power lines could be close, could not be close. I was like, yeah, I think we'll leave that one up there.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. It's all about the angle of the picture.
Yeah. It's nice though. I think that's can't tell what kind.
I think that one's a pal finger.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if it's like the kind I have or the bigger one.
The 42 or the 38.
Yeah.
You have a 38 or a 42?
42. We have I think 138 and I said 3 or 2 42s.
Yeah, I've operated both. The first new pal finger I had, because I ran a 250 pal finger way back in the day and a 300. Um, but the new PW crane, first one I had was a 42, and now the one that I would operate is a 38.
Hmm.
So this thing is beautiful, but I wouldn't, I don't want it.
Not you?
No. Because of this.
The high ab.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that I liked about the high ab crane, and then there was things where it just fell short. And then once running the pal finger, I was just like, yeah, it's a superior crane. I've had the luxury of seeing one of Jose's builds. I could have ran it that day, but I didn't. I should have. But yeah, there's definitely a difference between a Jose crane and another company's build of the same crane.
Yeah. That does go for a lot of things too. I mean, a lot of guys, oh, this crane sucks. Might not necessarily be your crane, but who set it up?
Exactly.
I mean, like this guy seems like he was doing it right. And it's a high ab.
Yeah, like my high ab will do that. I got no problem with my high ab.
Yeah.
I'm just not, I don't know. I'm the old crunchy metal IMT guy. So
And a strong wind, you blow like 4 inches away from the window.
yeah.
Yeah. When those rotation motors start to go out and you're rocking back and forth, you're missing a tooth on the rotator, and all of a sudden you're rocking a lot further.
That's called keeping your skill up. You know, that's like handicap points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at this.
It's not terrible, but it's not.
Yeah.
That's a Friday 4:35 job right there.
5 o'clock stock job.
Yep.
That's the one they made you take.
Yep. You was walking out to your truck. Hey man, hold up. I got one more. Hold up.
Yeah.
Or you get that phone call. Hey man, you gotta come back and grab one more. Really? It's Friday, man.
I was the guy that was calling back going, hey, can I get 2 more?
See, I'm that guy all summer long. But when there's 15 inches of snow outside, yeah, you know, I'll do it, but I'm not gonna do it with a happy face.
Exactly.
There's very little I won't do. There's very little the boys won't do.
Yeah, the way I see it is, if you don't do it, somebody else is. So shit,
Exactly.
might as well figure it out.
You might not get a smile with it, but we'll do it.
Yeah, sometimes I complain a little bit before going and doing it, and then I get there and I'm like, well, it didn't turn out to be that bad. So
Yeah,
But you got it.
sometimes
out of the way.
I'll complain too, just to give them a little hard time. But
yeah, for sure.
My favorite's the ones where you ask them questions like, "You got a basement?" I don't know. You got a breakdown sheet? He said he left one there. Do the windows come out? I don't know. So the windows don't come out. It's got a basement. You don't want to tell me how much. All right. Oh, yeah, I'll take it. Just throw it on the truck.
Did you deliver it? Yeah. Is it in the house? Yeah. Is it all in the garage? Maybe.
Maybe. There's a possibility.
so Craig commented on the video, said there's many reasons to have straight stacks. It promotes less damage, tabs are easier to tear, looks professional, and I consider it my signature that I stock the job.
Right on. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much breaks it down.
Yep.
Mike Crystal asks where we're out of. I'm from Charlotte. Well, I'm in Charlotte. Mike's in Ohio, all of Ohio. Nah, what side of Ohio would you say? Like
Northeast.
Northeast Ohio. And Randy's all of Illinois.
Pretty much. I've stalked all over it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone out of northern Illinois all the way down to like 5.5 hours south to do jobs before.
Yeah, so have we, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think the furthest I've drove is like 3 hours.
Yeah,
After
further-
about hour and a half, once I did that hour and a half, I don't want to get out of the truck no more. I don't want to stop drywall for a minute. I don't know. I hate that prolongedness. I just want to go get it done, get back.
Yeah. We had a job that we were doing in Iowa that was about 5.5 hours, and you had to be on the job at 7 to meet the first semi. So we were leaving like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning to get there.
That's fun.
Yeah. And
That's too
then
much fun.
you get the first semi done, and it's like, oh, okay, the second semi should have been there an hour ago. It's like, okay. So you wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. And it's like, okay, can we just come back now? It's like 3:30 in the afternoon. No, he's only an hour away. All of a sudden he shows up at 7 o'clock at night. And they're like, well, unload him. Like, I'm still 5 hours from the yard.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna tune out. Thank you guys for jumping in, giving
Yeah.
your insights on the straight stacks. I don't know if next week maybe we'll talk a little bit about the group rules,
Okay.
or maybe we'll choose another topic, just depending on how the week goes and if I see anything that looks interesting. But I think touching the group rules is also it'll be pretty. I guess just to kind of explain why we do certain things and kind of put it out there, and also I guess ask for advice and see what the group thinks.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
That works.
Maybe we'll open it all up and make no rules.
Oh boy.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, for a couple of weeks, then everybody gets pissed about everything and people get fired. And
We need Cody. We need Cody.
yeah, we need to figure out too if Cody's real or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll let him set the rules.
Sounds like
Are
a
you sure
plan
we're
to
going to
me.
be able to read them?
We'll get somebody to
Translate?
help us out with that. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Well, shoot. Once again, man, thanks for chiming in, and I'll see you guys next week.
All righty, boss.
Okay.
All right.
See you, fellas.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.